Embrace your responsibility. Hi, I'm Heather, and this is my series on getting unstuck. Sometimes life does not go the way that we would like, or we get stuck in cycles due to lack of self-responsibility. Simply put, this is a state or fact of being responsible, answerable, or accountable for something within one's power, control, or management. So being self-responsible can look like being dependable, making good choices, taking accountability for your actions, both good and bad, and self-awareness of personal strengths and weaknesses. It's also setting goals and planning how to improve yourself. Personal responsibility is when you take full accountability of your actions, your decisions, your thoughts, and more. So what is irresponsible? Showing lack of care for consequences for your actions or inaction. Other synonyms can look like carefree or heartless or even feckless. The lack of self-responsibility can look like blaming others for your mistakes or failures. It can be not keeping agreements or deadlines, complaining, making excuses for your own shortcomings. And the definition of self-responsibility is the phrase, within one's power, control, or management. On a good day, we can only control ourselves, and that's a job all by itself. You cannot control anyone else, not how people think, how they feel, or how they act. You aren't responsible for anyone else's happiness or disappointment. Dr. Cloud says the law of responsibility is that you are responsible for yourself and to others. It is about our treatment of others, our interaction, and how you represent yourself in a relationship. One problem is that we can get stuck in a victim mentality. This is when you believe you have no control over things that happen to you. Bad things might happen to you or people you know on a daily basis. But there are some who claim that it's never their fault. They argue that they have no control over the tough situations and problems that they encounter. It is simply always happening to them. Victimhood can become a part of a person's identity, but it's a learned behavior and it can be changed. Please note, if you feel like you might have this or you know someone that has this, it is often an evolution as a defense mechanism to cope with adverse life events. So they've probably experienced things that they are now figuring out how to cope with, and victimhood came up. The victim mentality surrounds these three principles. It's bad things happen and will keep happening. Other people or circumstances are to blame, and any efforts to change will fail. So there's no point in trying. I've heard people bring up how we were raised, and our parents they weren't perfect. Yes, sometimes we learn victimhood from our parents or those that raised us. Unless you're actively in an abusive or truly neglectful relationship with your parents, the suggestions I have for you are the same as everyone else working through responsibility issues. Steps to move forward. Recognize your faults and weaknesses. This includes martyrdom or irresponsibility. We all have faults and weaknesses. No one is perfect. Recognize what yours are. 2, forgive others. People make mistakes. Sometimes they deliberately hurt us, but sometimes they don't. Forgive other people so that you are not stuck in bondage. Forgive yourself. Just like no one is perfect, you are also not perfect. Please forgive yourself and move on. Pray. Give your weaknesses to God. Ask Him to help you with it. And another one is manage your mood. When we feel good, we tend to do good. And when we feel bad, we tend to expect and do bad, thus setting ourselves up for failure. So please manage your mood. Find a mantra. Both the secular world and scriptures agree on meditating to change your thoughts. You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. This is Isaiah 26:3. One of the most common mantras or prayers that lots of organizations use fits here. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. The biggest thing you can do is take action. You get to make change in your life. It's a privilege and your responsibility. Guess what? God made us to need people. I feel like this is the main thing I'm going to talk about in all of these videos. Does that mean we need someone else to fix things for us? Nope. I love the concept of interdependence. This is when you have two very powerful people that can both do things on their own, but when they come together, they are 10 times more powerful than they were by themselves. Find a trusted friend, a pastor, a professional that can help you recognize where you can take responsibility over your life. Encouragement is good, especially when we are working to change ourselves, because change is scary and it can be painful, but you can grow. Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. If this is something you need help on or that you're interested in talking with me about, I have time for you, and I would love for you to contact me. My information's in the description. Thank you.